Hey y'all, so how are y'all doing during this quarantine time? I hope everybody's staying safe and have enough supplies and toilet tissue, food, just kind of like just praying everything is working out with your jobs and everything. So, while I have a quick moment, I wanted to talk about and kind of encourage everybody to remember that today is the 2020 Census Day, where we are supposed to be turning in our um, count for who's all living at your home. So I definitely wanted to kind of like raise awareness, because I know some dates have been pushed back as far as like taxes and just as far as all these other bills that are going through. But the 2020 census, let's not forget, it is still on and popping. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that we are encouraging people that are around us, our family, our friends, asking them, texting them, letting them know that don't forget to turn in their tally for the 2020. So most of you should have gotten either a paper with a code on it, or a letter in the mail for you to fill out, says who's in your household, to turn that back in. Okay, so it's not that difficult, you guys. It doesn't take long. We are all in the house. We all have time. So go ahead and try and fill that out immediately. If you don't know how to work a computer, if you don't have access to the internet, call somebody and give them your address and let them walk you through, so that way that you're counted in the 2020 census. Okay, so why is it the 2020 census is so important is because it determines the congressional leaders in your area. It determines the electoral college for your state, because as we know, for presidential elections, it's based off of electoral college. So it's, and those things are based off of population. And if you don't say that you're like in that population, you're not counted. Your votes get you get less people representing you in Congress. Okay, so another thing that the 2020 census does, or even just the census, it determines funding. Okay, funding for your areas, funding for schools, funding for jobs, funding for programs like healthcare. Childcare, your food benefits and stuff like that. Another thing that it also determines is zoning. Okay, so that determines the zoning lines of who gets what. Okay, and what comes to your neighborhoods. Okay, so if you're not including yourself in this count, then you could be missing out. And a lot of times that we think that this is like it doesn't matter, I'm one less person. Listen, there's 50% of y'all that think like that. So if we keep not counting, you don't get this for another 10 years. Okay, so I know we all talking about the election, but this is important because it directly affects the stuff that funds the things that you need in your community and your surroundings. So even when we start thinking about like businesses, a lot of times it's based off of like the population and why certain businesses don't open up in your area, because it's like you're not accounted for. So they're not taking a risk to build a new mall in your area or new shopping centers and stuff like that, because y'all not counted in a population. So they don't think that like, oh, that's a low populated place, so no, we're not going to build there. But indeed, you guys are actually living in these communities and stuff like that. So it is very important that you get on the census. So to go to the website, if you online, it's 2020census.gov. If you online, if you do not have access to internet or anybody that can walk you through it through the internet, there you can also call in to the number, the 1-844-330-2020. Okay, all you have to do is when it asks for a code, well, when you first go to it, you say respond. You want to respond to the 2020 census, and you press start questionnaire, and it's going to ask you for a census ID. Do not fret that, like, oh, I don't have a census ID. What you can do is just click on the bottom button that says I don't have an ID, and then you can put in your address, and from there you can account for the people that are in your household. Let's not look at this time like, oh, and be all skeptical that I don't want nobody to know where I'm staying, or this is another way to get us and get us. Like, that's not this type of talk. We're not gonna do that. Okay, so y'all need to go ahead and make sure you are counted in. Every state is different on how you received your papers, but like I just said, if you go online or if you call the number, that will allow you to go ahead and put your count in, and that only takes literally 10 minutes. It does not ask about immigration or your status, if you have a visa, U.S. citizen. If that question is not on there, I know that because I went on there already. Okay, so it's all you have to do is account for the names, the ages, how they're related to you, and if they're black or white. Simple. Okay, so share this video. Make sure you're reaching out to people and hounding people, sending out texts, sending out in y'all little threads and all y'all thing. Hey, did you complete your 2020 census? Okay, complete the census. All right, I'll talk to y'all later, and thank y'all for watching. Bye.